Hey, 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 how's it going? Happy Tuesday. I hope you are doing super well. I'm doing well. Just had a morning ski day with my girlfriends, and that was great. And I had a lot of questions submitted for today's Q&A. Really great questions. So feeling super excited to answer questions because I fucking love answering your questions. And guys, I'm Kendra Perry, online business mentor for health and wellness coaches. And I'm here to help you blow up your health coaching business. So say hello. If you're here, give me a wave. Hi, Cedar Media, what's up? Stacey's here. What is up? I do these Q&As every Tuesday right now at noon Pacific. Next week's going to be noon. And then after that, we're going to move to 2 p.m. Hello, BW Studio _health. What's up? I don't know your name. Let me know your name. Stacy. Stacy's my favorite. Glad you're here, Stacy. So I had a ton of questions submitted, like way more than usual. So this is going to be a little bit longer because I want to make sure every question gets answered. And just one thing before we get started, I am doing a free training next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. You can get the link to that training in the bio, but basically I'm going to teach you what I know to help you get to 5K months consistently in your business, because that is the first milestone. You definitely 100% want to hit 5K. And if you're not hitting it, it means that you don't have some of these things in place that I'm going to teach you. Okay, cool. So that link is in my bio. You can get that afterwards. I'm going to be spamming you with that masterclass promo soon, so get ready. All right, let's see here. I want to, let me just get my shit sorted here. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up these questions. I had a few that were submitted through to me through DM and some, so maybe what I'll do is I'll go through these ones first that were submitted through my questions feature. Okay, so this one's an easy one. Any recommendations for transcription service? I want to use it to repurpose content, which is great. You should be transcribing your videos, your podcasts, because yeah, it can be repurposed. If you hire someone who does content repurposing for you, they can literally just go through the transcript and pull stuff out of it. So yeah, I do recommend that you transcribe any video or audio content. And there are two different services, and it really depends on how much you want to pay. So there's Temi.com, TEMI.com. It's about, I think it's, what is it? 25 cents a minute? It used to be a penny a minute. Let me look that up quickly. Yeah, 25 cents per minute. It used to be a cent a minute, but now it's 25 cents a minute. So it's pretty inexpensive. The transcript isn't perfect though. And so if you are a crazy perfectionist, which is not something I recommend, please don't be a perfectionist in business. You will never get anywhere. But you may want to go in and I guess it depends on what you're using the transcript for, right? If you're just using it to repurpose content, to cut and paste stuff out, yeah, you're probably going to need to edit it. But if you want something that's pretty dead on, rev.com, 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 it's $1 a minute. So it's more expensive, but it gives you a basically perfect transcript. Like for the most part, it's really good, but it's just more expensive. So I think it really depends what you are utilizing it for. For the transcripts that we pull from for YouTube, so for my YouTube videos, we use Rev because I want that to be a good transcript because people are reading it. But for the other videos I do where my content repurposer is just kind of pulling out quotes and this and that, we use Temi.com because it's cheaper. Okay, so those are great options, again, depending on your price point. Okay, next question. Besides content, any other tips for enrolling people into a group program? So a bit of a vague, big question, but you know, like if you have a group program, in terms of enrollment, if you are already in the enrollment phase, then your work is kind of done, okay? Because when it comes to enrolling anyone in like an online course or group program, the magic or the attraction is what happens in the pre-launch phase, right? Pre-launch is way more important than launch phase, right? Because people take a long time to warm up to you and they take a long time to be ready to buy. Guys, if you just joined, say hi. Say hey. Say what's up. Okay. So what we have to consider here is something called touch points. Okay. Sounds creepy, but it's not. It's important. I promise. Touch points are basically the number of times that people have to come into contact with your content, with you or your content, before they are ready to buy. Okay. Before, pre-pandemic, it was an average of 36 touch points. Post-pandemic, it's a lot more. People are spending more time in the decision mode before they purchase. So I've noticed, and I've heard this from a lot of other people in the entrepreneurship industry. What I've heard is that, hey everyone who just joined, people are spending a lot more time in your audience before purchasing than usual. So people are taking a longer time to buy. Okay. One of my mentors noticed, and she gets a pretty high volume of traffic. She noticed that people were spending on average a year, just a little over a year on her email list before they were buying her course. Now, don't freak out and be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. It's not bad or good. It just is. It's different. And what this means, like if you are trying to enroll, you really got to think about what you were doing prior to enrollment, right? You really need to warm people up. I find on average, people are following me for about 3 to 4 months before they're ready to invest in some of my offerings. Okay. So in terms of enrolling people, if you are in the enrollment phase right now, other than content, the best thing you can do is direct outreach. Okay. And what I mean by that is actually thinking like, who are the people in my audience, in my life, who this would be a good fit for, and then sending them a message being like, hey, I'm launching this thing. I thought you might be interested. I want to just throw it out there. Let me know if you want to chat about it, sort of thing. Direct outreach is really powerful in the enrollment period, especially if it's a new program. Okay. But if you're in the enrollment program, chances are it's not impossible, but it's going to be more unlikely that you're going to convert anyone new. Like, don't focus on finding new people to enroll because they're still going to need more time for that know, like, and trust factor, right? So think about the people who are in your audience and if you can actually do direct outreach. And I know direct outreach isn't sexy, but it's a really powerful strategy. And that's how I filled a lot of my programs in the beginning. Okay. So I have this course. It's kind of random. I don't talk about it much on social media, but I teach health practitioners how to interpret hair tissue mineral analysis testing. Okay. Very powerful test. It tells you the mineral status of the body. Amazing. People love this course. But when I first started it, it was just like an idea. And I was just like, I'm thinking about doing this. So I reached out to anyone who had consulted with me over the years. Cause I used to consult with practitioners over hair tissue mineral analysis, like within an organization that I used to work in and also within my own business. I reached out and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about creating a course around this. Like if I did, would you be interested? And overwhelmingly people said yes. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So then when it came time to buy it, I didn't do a fancy launch. There was no launch. There was no webinar. There was nothing. There wasn't a sales sequence. I literally just reached out to the people who had said they're interested. And I said, hey, it's ready. The beta version is ready. Here's the payment link if you're interested. And I sold $30,000 that first launch for that first course. The most money I had ever made in like 10 days. I was literally blown away and it was all through direct outreach. Okay. So really think about that. If you're already in enrollment period, think about that. And then if you are, thinking about a group program in a few months, like yes, content is the primary thing. Content, not only your own, but collaboration content, right? What podcast could you be on as a guest, right? What summit could you get on? What sort of collaboration video series, interview series could you do with people in order to just get out in front of more people and start to nurture a new audience? Okay, so I hope that helps. K Martin, VASST. You say, yep, I find that people are following for a while before converting to buyers. Yeah, and especially in health and wellness, you will get a lot of creepers. And one of my followers, sent me this really amazing message today, warmed my wee little heart. And she is enrolling for a group program. And she was like, I'm so excited because there was this woman who I didn't even know she was following me. She came out of nowhere and just was like, yeah, I'm so interested in this program. Send me the payment link. And she's like, I didn't even have to sell to her. Like, I didn't have to sell her, do anything. I don't even have the sales page done. Like, she was just ready because I had built this relationship with her unknowingly. Okay. You will get a lot of creepers if you are working in health and wellness, if you are working in personal development, life coaching, because the topics that you are speaking to aren't always things that people are super excited to actually discuss on a public platform. You know, if you help women with their irregular periods, probably not a lot of people want to be like typing about their periods on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever, right? So you end up getting a lot of people who are watching you. They're following you regularly, but you don't know that they're there. Think about the creepers. Really important. And this is so important, especially if you're new in business, because in the beginning, you know, you do go through a lot of rejection. You do feel like nobody's watching. And oftentimes that lack of dopamine hit and that lack of external validation from strangers leads people to kind of give up or just kind of like go off track for a while, like stop showing up on social media because they're like, oh, well, no one's watching. There are always people watching, and there are people watching who aren't comfortable revealing themselves yet. So think of those people when you feel that urge to give up, right? There are so many, and I get this too, even in the business space, right? I get people who are like, I've been following you for like 2 years. And I'm like, who are you? Like crazy, right? So just something that's really important to consider. Okay. ConvertKit, hard to understand and use, ? I have no email list strategy yet. ConvertKit, I've been with a lot of email marketing providers. For those of you who aren't aware with ConvertKit, it's email marketing software. It's what I use, and it's what I recommend that my students use because I've been with a lot of email marketing providers. I've been with GetResponse, MailChimp. I've been with MailerLite. I've been with ActiveCampaign, and I've been with ConvertKit. I've tried a lot of different ones. ConvertKit, in my opinion, is the most user-friendly. It's really easy to use. You know, once you get it, obviously there's a learning curve, right? It's a new language. Email marketing kind of fucks with your brain. It's a bit of a new language. So, yeah, if it feels hard at first, that's normal. But in my opinion, it has the most user-friendly dashboard, and they have amazing customer service and a lot of great tutorials online. I would put ActiveCampaign at a close second. I just think ConvertKit has a little bit more of a user-friendly dashboard. But ActiveCampaign has amazing customer service, and they do all the things. I just find it's a bit advanced. I find ActiveCampaign does a little bit more than you actually need, but with ConvertKit, you can grow with it. A lot of the top marketers in the world use ConvertKit. So even if you're, you know, super new now, if you plan on doing memberships, group programs, courses, like ConvertKit can handle all that automation and have all that functionality. And in terms of an email list strategy, this is something I teach inside Health Coach Accelerator, which is relaunching in just a couple weeks. Okay. We talk about email list strategy and how to actually build your list. Hey, Shayna, what's up? Hey, girl. Yeah, so we talk about email strategy inside that course, because yeah, you definitely, your email list is your insurance plan. You know, it's like, I have had a couple colleagues get their Instagram accounts shut down for no reason lately. There's been a kind of a mass culling of, and sometimes for no good reason, right? And I think because they're shutting down so many accounts with all the crazy censorship that's going on, like some people are getting shut down without cause or reason because of I don't know what. And yeah, like imagine your social media accounts just got shut down overnight. Would you still have a business? And that's where your email list comes in. So very, very important. Stay tuned for Health Coach Accelerator. Because that is dropping. It's dropping in a couple weeks. Okay. Tips for adding health coaching to an existing thriving fitness business. So this is great because these two things go together really good. Okay. Because you know, as a fitness coach, that exercise isn't always enough to get people the results that they want, right? Even when people are super dedicated and, you know, they show up for their workouts on a regular basis, right? Like they're super dedicated. Sometimes that's not enough because they don't understand nutrition, or, you know, maybe they have gut issues, or they have inflammation, or they have nutritional deficiencies and they need to be supplementing, they need to be testing, all of these things. So this actually goes together very, very well. So you could create a signature program that combines the two. You get fitness coaching and health coaching into same business. Or it could be an add-on, right? People come to you for fitness coaching and they can, upgrade into your health coaching program. Now, with any business, you need to have a niche, right? You need to help a specific person. So don't go out there and be like, I'm a fitness health coach or a health and fitness coach. That's what I hear people calling themselves. I'm a health and fitness coach. And it's like, okay, great. What does that mean, right? Who do you help? What problem do you solve, right? And I would think with fitness, like the problem is probably, weight loss, body composition. Those are problems, right? So you still want to hit them with that, right? You still want to be like, I help you lose weight, but we do fitness, but we also are going to, tune in your diet, lifestyle, supplement regime, that sort of thing. Okay. Hope that was helpful. Let's see what's next. Okay. This is actually an easy one. Is your HCA Health Coach Accelerator program geared for nutrition coaches wanting to one-on-one coaching? Yes, 100%. So Health Coach Accelerator, which launches in just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It is geared towards helping people with one-on-one coaching, but it's the foundational program. So if you are someone who wants a group program, you want courses, you want a membership, you want DIY products, whatever, take this program because these are the basics that you 100% need in place to be successful in those other things. A lot of people skip these foundational pieces and they go and try to launch a membership, a group program, and they don't have these basic things in place. And then they wonder why they're not getting success with those things. Okay. So I always recommend that coaches start with one-on-one coaching, even if that's not ultimately what you want to do. That's where we start. Why? Because that is where you get the experience, the trial and error experience that helps you be successful with a group program, with an online course, with a membership. Okay. Here's the thing. If you jump right into group program, you will get less interaction with those people. So it's going to be very hard for you to determine if something is not working, right? If something just didn't really jive with people. So when you work with one-on-one clients, they're going to ask you a ton of questions. You're going to try a lot of things. You're going to see what works and what doesn't work. You're going to really understand where people need support and, where they need additional resources. And that is what sets you up to be successful with group program, membership, course. 100%. And so I have people in my program where they're like, I'm not super passionate about one-on-one. I want to do group programs. I'm like, great. Take on like 10 one-on-one clients before. It's like your research phase. So yes, it's geared towards one-on-one coaching. But for those of you wanting to launch the group programs in the spring, I'm going to relaunch profitable, I can barely say the name of my own course, profitable groups, which is a program that helps you launch your group program quickly. Okay. And so we actually do that together in a live format. So that's going to be happening in the spring. But if you are not making at least 5K per month in your business, then Health Coach Accelerator is still the program for you because this is the foundational piece. We want to get you to that amount, that you're making that amount, because that will help you invest in group program, online course, membership. Okay, cool. Great question. Let's see here. Okay, cool. I'm going to look over here for a second because I got a bunch of questions that were submitted through email and DM. So Mel asks, Mel is a dental hygienist. She sent us in an email and, I should X that out. She sent us in an email and she's trying to figure out how to incorporate FDN, functional diagnostic nutrition, into dental offices. What would the marketing strategy be? And I could still work independently for many offices if they were interested in having a person to refer their patients or nutrition help to. Okay. So dental health, frequent cavitation, bad breath, like all these dental issues, like these are problems. These are problems, which is great because that's your niche, right? Start with the problem, right? So you could, help women, just throwing it out there, help women solve their frequent cavitations, right? Because there are people who every time they go to the dentist, they have a cavity and they're like, fuck, like I floss, I brush my teeth, I eat healthy. What's going on? You know that there are other things that can contribute to people having all these dental issues that have nothing to do with dental health, right? And you also know that having bad dental health can contribute to heart disease, diabetes, inflammation, autoimmunity, all these things, right? So this is a really powerful niche, and I don't think there's a ton of people doing it, which is cool, okay? But there is no singular marketing strategy, right? There's just a series of strategies and mindset that goes into making this successful. And I do believe we were chatting, I think we were chatting on Instagram DM, and you were saying, I was like, hey, is this something you would be offering in an online format? Yes, cool. So the strategy is basically to, set up social media channels, get the email list going, and get to know your people, provide value, warm them up, build relationships, get to know them, and then offer them something, right? Offer them your signature program. So the whole strategy is basically everything I teach inside Health Coach Accelerator. So that's what I recommend, right? Because inside Health Coach Accelerator, we dial in your niche. We get your message dialed in, messaging, niche, branding, right? Really important, that business identity. We talk about building out your signature program. So building out a program that is attractive to your ideal client. They look at it and they're like, oh, that's exactly for me. It's like she was in my brain. It's like she made it for me, right? And then we learn how to sell it, right? There's two ways of selling, indirect, direct, right? Direct is on a sales call when it comes to one-on-one coaching or anything that's kind of over the $1,000 mark. Indirect, which is what we do through social media, because we don't want to get too promotional on social media. People don't like it. It turns people off. Algorithms don't like it. So we sell indirectly through various strategies through social media to get people onto a call, right? And then we sell like a fucking boss. Inside Health Coach Accelerator, I teach my permission-based sales technique for sales calls, which is a really powerful sales technique that makes you feel the opposite of slimy, inauthentic, pushy, right? It's a very authentic way of selling in which we are constantly asking permission and kind of getting the green light to go ahead with the next phase of the sale call. So that's what we teach inside Health Coach Accelerator. And then we talk about content, right? We talk about how to make content, what type of content you should be creating, how to connect with your people, how to build your social media accounts, right? All of that stuff, content repurposing. And then we go into email list building, plus lots of mindset shit, especially for this next round. We have like a whole mindset training, but I'm bringing in 3 fucking amazing experts to talk about money mindset, self-worth, and decision-making, because this is where people are getting stuck. The main reason that my students aren't succeeding is because of themselves, right? It's their mindset blocks. People get in their own way, and the strategy is never the problem. It's always the mindset. It's always what's going on in here. Anyways, long-winded way to answer that question. Okay. Next question. I'd love your advice on where to start. I'm a successful Pilates instructor. My assistant really loved this email because she's a Pilates instructor. So she was like, oh, cool. And the studio owner wants to add functional diagnostic nutrition into her business. I got certified in 2012. It's a long time ago. I got certified in 2013. So that's even before I got certified. But use the knowledge to take care of my own health. Okay. So now because of COVID related changes, I want to add health coaching into my business. Comfortable with sales. I already have a successful brand. Very cool. And understand business pretty well. Ideally, I'd like to just add FDN health coaching as a service rather than having a second business brand. With this in mind, do you think this is possible? Yeah. So I think you could combine, you could use, okay, so this is where I'm thinking. If you just add it as a service, it's not going to be a moneymaker. It's going to be a lot more work than it's worth because FDN requires a lot of time. Now, your ideal clients are probably in the Pilates studio. So I think you can build this under the own brand, but it depends. Are you going to market online? And it sounds like this is why you want to bring this in, right? Because depending on where you are, maybe it's hard to offer Pilates in person. But yeah, I think this can be under the same brand, but I think what you got to hone in is it has to solve a singular problem, if that makes sense. So you've got the Pilates, but like, who are these people? You probably already have a niche market or a type of women or person that is within your Pilates following, right? So I would just hone in on what is like the big problem they're still having despite Pilates that something like health coaching, functional nutrition can solve, okay? So it's great that you're comfortable with sales. You have a successful brand. You understand business pretty well. That's awesome. So what I would suggest is creating a program, right? A signature program that is the FDN health coaching. Now you ask, where do I start in the courses that you have available? So you should send me a message on direct message on Instagram, because I'd love to chat with you more, because I always tell people to start with Health Coach Accelerator, but it is very much geared towards online business, right? If you're not doing online coaching, online consulting, if you're not marketing online, then it's not for you, right? Offline stuff is not my jam, okay? This is going to be all online coaching. So in terms of where do you start? I would think Health Coach Accelerator, right? Because this is going to be how to market, promote this online, how to promote it to your people. But you also said I understand business pretty well. So potentially it's not the right fit for you. So I would love to chat with you over direct message and just see if it is a fit for you. There's a bunch of questions I'd want to ask you. Okay. And you say, honestly, my biggest hang up is not having someone to bounce ideas off or chat with about business stuff. I miss collaboration and brainstorming from business stores, right? It's helpful to get out of my own head. That makes me think that you would be a fit, but again, send me a direct message and we can chat, because I want to make sure, I don't want anyone in the program who's a bad fit, right? I don't want people to feel like they misspent their money, right? Really important to have the right people inside there. Okay, guys, people who are on with me live right now, if you have any questions, Stacy says, totally. Let me know. I'll give you guys a few seconds. Otherwise, I got to eat some lunch because I got another call. I just went skiing all morning with the ladies and that was so fun. And now I got to eat some, gotta nourish myself. But guys, I do this Q&A every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, at least for next time. After that, I think I'm going to go back to 2 p.m. Pacific just because it's easier for me to ski when the call is later in the afternoon. And I am having a free training next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So 3 steps to making 5K per month consistently in your business. So I'm going to give you basically the intro content into how to do this, right? Because a lot of people are focusing on all the wrong things. They're getting really sidetracked and they're trying to do too many things. They're not focusing on the things that actually matter. And I'm very much a minimalist in business. Yes, business is hard, might not feel like minimalism, but let's not do more work than we need to. So these are going to be the most important things that you can work on in your business to be hitting 5K per month every month in 2021. I'm like, what year is it? That link is in my bio. And for those of you watching the replay, you can just click on the title of this video. It'll like do a little drop down. You'll be able to click on that link. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And thank you for asking so many great questions. I really appreciate it. If you have other questions, I will put a little questions feature on Mondays to gather your questions, but you can also shoot me a direct message. I will add it to the queue and I'll also probably chat with you directly because I love chatting with you in DM. Love you guys, and I will talk to you soon.